Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Smriti Mishra and I welcome you all to FitCon, an initiative from FitZenix. The massive hit of pandemic and societal shift underway help evolve company cultures and employees' perceptions about workforce mental well-being. Focus programs are being carved by companies to support their employees and motivate them to become more participating in wellness programs. Business leaders have also started to invest in employees' wellness. On the other side, employees also have rightfully increased expectations for their mental well-being. But the majority of employees lack the confidence to ask for mental well-being programs at work. They still don't feel like it's safe to open up to their workplace and share their cause of stress, elements, and anxiety. How should employers overcome such challenges and create an impact by making employees emotionally immune? To understand it better, we have with us today Mr. Fayyaz Ahmed from Pakistan. He is a clinical psychologist and a PhD scholar from NIP, Quaid-e-Azam University, Islamabad. He is presently holding the post of director in a very reputed organization, Institute of Mental Health in Islamabad. Welcome to FitCon, Mr. Fayyaz.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Miss.
Okay, so shall we begin with the question round?
Yes, sure, please.
How do you categorize people as mentally immune? How are they different from others?
Okay, thank you. That's really very interesting, and it is one of the new emerging term in the field of psychology, and especially I would say when it comes to the counseling and when it comes to the different management systems, right? So first of all, I would say that immunity actually, what does immunity do? Immunity actually protect us from different antibodies, from different viruses, from different, threatening things which are damaging to the human's body, right?
Right.
Similarly, uh, emotional immunity, our psychological immunity, it actually, our mind immunity, our mental immunity, it actually helps us to prevent ourselves from the bad ideas, from the viruses of the thoughts. Actually, what they do, they actually make us suffer through so many of the things. Like, for example, we can say that if anyone is suffering, like there would be sufferings in his thoughts, there would be certain viruses which we can say that bad ideas or the bad thoughts in everyone's mind that actually are playing a pivotal role in the onset and in the development of the different psychological disorder. So a
Right.
person who is mentally immune, actually he is well protected, he is well guarded from different psychological disorders like you can say anxiety, depression, even stress. A person who is not well immune, and even if he is not well immune mentally, emotionally, or psychologically, right? So definitely he won't be able to manage or cope with the stresses of the day-to-day life and the mental illnesses of the day-to-day. So it is very important. A person who is emotionally immune or who is mentally immune or who is psychologically immune, he will perform in the different roles of the organization totally differently as a person who is not immune, right? So we have to focus on our immunity system as we are eating good diets, we are eating healthy foods to keep our immunity strong. So we have to adopt the healthy activities, we have to adopt certain healthy thinking patterns so that our mental immunity should also get stronger, right? So when it will strong, so definitely we are going to perform better as a person, as an employee, as a husband, even in every field of life.
Every role. Right. Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Ahmed, moving to next question. How mental
Yes.
immunity is the foundation of emotional resilience?
Yes, it is because when we talk about the emotions, there are basically two broad categories of the emotions, right? One we can say the good emotion, and one we can say the bad emotions. There are only six basic emotions in psychology, right? Right. First, like for example, we can say first is sadness, right? Then anger, fear, surprise. These are actually six emotions. Three are good emotions and three are bad emotions, right? So when we say that emotional resilience is based on the immunity, it means that we have to focus on the activation of emotion. Emotion, what are
Right.
emotions? These are actually energies in motions, right? So these are energies, so they can activate at any time. Either they can activate with while talking with the wife, while working in the organization, while in a meeting with the boss. It can activate everywhere, right? What actually emotional immunity do in emotional resilience, it actually helps us to understand, to get deactivation of the bad emotions and activation of the good emotions, right? So definitely it plays a significant role in the emotional resilience, right? So if we are not emotionally immune, if we don't know that what is my what kind of emotion is activated right now, either it is fear, either it is sadness, either it is anger, what kind of emotional state I am going through, I won't be able to perform very well. Like, for example, I can tell you the hundred of stories. I had seen hundred of good employees, but they were very low in their emotional immunity. What they did actually, they could not perform very well when they came to the meeting, when they were giving their own opinion. They were not in a position to let others feel that what they want to say, right? Eventually, when they are regretted, they are not, they are not supported, or if there is any emotional variation, opinion variation, they're not able to handle those things because they get activated, their emotions get activated. So actually, they eventually cannot perform. I had seen many good employees leaving the meetings from the offices just because of one thing, and that is they were not emotionally resilient, right? So definitely, I would say that emotional immunity or the emotional immunity, mental immunity, it actually helps our emotional resilience. It is the one way. Another way is this, that whenever our emotions activated, there are different theories which actually supports that first of all, our thought processes actually activate our emotions. Like, for example, if I started thinking sad, so my emotion of the sadness will be activated. If I start thinking aggressively on anyone, so the emotion of the anger will be activated. And similarly, if I feel afraid of something, if I would be processing mentally on it, so definitely I would start thinking over it like that, and it will actually increase the activation of that emotion. What I have to do, I have to learn that how I have to be more emotionally resilient and how I have to work on my immunity. So definitely, I would say it is one of the base for the emotional resilience.
Thank you for elaborating the science of emotions, Mr. Fayaz. It was really very comprehensive and it was really great to understand all this. Okay, moving to next. While working for our boss or employer, it happens that we disagree or get sometimes angry. Sometimes it even get worse, and that is hard to control our emotions. So, how to control such negative emotions or thoughts or passive aggressive behavior?
Yes, that is wonderful phenomenon. I had observed it many times in our companies and mostly. So what we do, we actually are conducting or we are actually performing different mistakes. First of all, we don't understand or we don't realize the worth of others' opinion, right? So it is the first mistake which we are actually doing because listening to others is their right. Like, for example, if you're questioning to me and I have to listen your question, it is your right and my responsibility to listen you, right? What we do actually, we do not listen to the other's opinion. It is the first mistake. Second mistake, what we do in our communication is that we actually do not think critically on the opinion of the others, right? For example, if anyone is saying anything to us, so it never means that that thing is 100% wrong. you know I had never observed 100% wrong thing in any meeting. What we do actually, we think and we understand the opinion of our bosses as 100% wrong. So it is another mistake what we are actually doing. What we have to do right now, we have to understand that if there is something wrong, there would be certainly something good in it. But we do not find that goodness in this. We only focus on the bad things. So it is the second mistake. What we have to do right now, first we have to understand that others have the rights to express their feelings, to express their thoughts. It is their right, fundamental right. Second thing is that if someone is saying anything which is even wrong, that is not 100% wrong, that would be having certain positive things as well. What you have to do, you have to look critically on the thing. Number third, if you feel that the opinion of your boss or the opinion of your senior is wrong and you have to disagree with the opinion, there are different ways which you can use to disagree with the boss. Like, for example, what I feel, and I usually consult with my customers during the communication meeting or during the communication training, what I used to say, the things actually get worse when we do not give credit to the other's opinion. Whenever you
Absolutely
are
right.
disagreeing, yes, when you are disagreeing with anyone's opinion, what you have to do, you have to give credit to the thought of the opposite person. Like, for example, if my boss is saying me to do a thing which I don't want to do, which I feel that that is not good, what I do, first of all, I would credit him. Sir, your opinion is wonderful, your idea would be great, you feel perfectly, at least you put certain effort to think in this way, so that's wonderful. But what if we do these things in this way, right? What we do in our daily life, in our communication, in our offices, we actually try to impose our opinions on others. We are not giving anything in the tray or in the shelves. Like, for example, if I'm presenting you a gift, if I'm throwing a gift to you, it would never give you the positive feeling. But if I'm presenting that gift in beautiful packing and I'm giving you in a very decent way, so definitely you would accept either it will be the gift of 1 rupee or it will be the gift of 200 rupees. But if I'm giving you the gift of 2 lakh rupees and I'm throwing that gift to you, that won't be meaningful to you. What we do in the meeting, we actually just throw our ideas, we just try to impose our ideas. So it is another thing which is very wrong. What we have to do, we have to actually respect the opinion of others, we have to credit the opinion of others, then we have to say that, okay, that is fine, that was your idea, that was fantastic. What if we do these things in this way? So if they agree, they feel, so definitely they won't be getting angry, annoyed to you, they would be definitely accepting this thing to you, right? So another thing, fourth, and I feel that is very important, when you say that your boss is very tough and he is not going to agree with your opinion 100%, and you have applied all these tactics and you are not getting any result, what you have to do? But either you are going to resign from the organization, you are going to talk with your friends and backbite about the boss, talk to me in this way and this. These are not the healthy behaviors. What you have to do, you have to be assertive in that. And what does assertiveness mean? Assertiveness is this, that you have to express your opinion, you have to express your thoughts, you have to express your feelings with 100% honesty. Either you are not exaggerating them, you will not be minimizing those feelings, and you will not be ignoring those feelings. Like, for example, in a meeting, if I'm talking on a very crucial topic and my boss is disagreeing to me on 100%, he is disagreeing to me, what I have to do, I used all the tactics. What I have to do right now, I have to be assertive now. I don't need to get aggressive with that. Either I don't need to get passive aggressive at that situation. What we do actually, most of the people, they get passive aggressive. They are not able to express their feelings with their bosses, and they eventually feel bad and they feel worthless and they feel, most of the time they feel that they don't have a good self or they don't have self reputation. And they feel like those things, which we say that he is low in self worth or self esteem, right? What you have to do, you don't need to think in this way. What you have to do, you have to talk to your boss at that time. I had never find a boss which is so which is so rude, which is totally misfit. No, I had never found any boss like that. Whenever you are talking humbly, whenever you are talking assertively, whenever you are talking with your boss without getting passive and without getting aggressive, so definitely he would be giving certain remarks to your opinion. You would be definitely not ignoring your opinion. You would definitely give both to your suggestions and opinions. What we do, we don't need to be dishonest to ourselves. And what we do actually, sometimes we get very aggressive, and boss also feel ashamed most of the time what I said and what was his reaction. So never do that. Now, you don't need to get aggressive. You don't need to get passive aggressive. What you have to do, you have to be assertive, and you need to express your thoughts. You need to express your feelings, and you have to talk in this situation. That sir, this is your opinion. It is wonderful, but I feel that yes, we can do these things. And last, what we have to do, we have to think things with different scenario. And what we say that we have to think out of the box. Out of the box means, we what we do, we always think in absolute terms. We say that it is the only way. No, it won't be the only way. The way you would be thinking would not be the final way. There would be hundred thousands of ways which others would be thinking, right? So you have to be vigilant. You have to be ready for that. If you are readily, available for the change, so definitely it won't be affecting you anymore. So I feel these are the few important mind hacks which we can use to deal with the in this situation.
Was quite insightful, and thank you for elaborating more with such good examples. Employees must not go with preconceived thoughts, and employers or boss should also, listen to their employees, because they have the preconceived notion also. Employees also, that if they are going, they always go with some fear or some confusions and all. So I think
Smita,
the self
sorry to cut
confidence
you.
will also
Sorry to
help
cut
them.
you. Yes, of course. One thing, what we do whenever we are entering in the office of our boss, we are prejudgmental about our boss, right? What we do, we actually try to generalize our every meeting. It is another mistake which we are doing in all this scenario, right? If sometime boss was not agreed on any suggestion, being an employee, what I feel that, oh, he is not going to agree on anything, right? And what I do, I don't try to talk to him. It is a very big mistake, and it actually exploits a very talented brain. I had seen many good, talented, and very well. I can say that they were the wonderful people in the organization. But what they did actually, they were not try to. They were just generalizing the one meeting over the professional career. So that was a mistake which we should
Right.
not do. And once you are entering in the office of your boss, you should feel that he would listen to you and he's sitting to listen. If you are entering in with this mind, so definitely it will help you a lot.
Okay, Mr. Ahmed. Okay, continuing with this question, how companies or wellness leaders can best support such employees? You have given such examples how employees like that. So, how, as a wellness leader or your boss, can best support
Mhm.
such employees from
Yes,
employer from boss
actually,
kind?
yes, I understand your question. The thing which I feel, being boss and being a good boss and being a boss having the leader's quality, these three are different things. What is the difference in it? If I'm a boss, right, and I'm just concerned with myself, and I feel that whatever I'm going to say, that should be 100% implemented without focusing on the rights of the boss, sorry, of your employees. So it means I'm just a boss, because I was self-implemented at that situation. So I am just occupying a seat to have certain employees which should actually follow my instructions. So it is just being a boss. So another thing, being a good boss, being a good boss means that you always have certain corners for your employees. You always give certain spaces to your employees, that whenever they feel any problem, they should come to you and they should listen to you. And being a boss with the leadership qualities, that is another domain. Why I am saying like this? I had seen hundred of bosses who were sitting in their offices, even they had just 1 minute meeting with their employees. But that meetings mean a meeting. You know, in one meeting, he actually appreciate for 1 minute to his employees. He actually give reprimand for 1 minute to his employees. But his employees wants to be like his boss. So it is a boss who is boss with the leadership qualities. What we have to do being bosses, we have to look on these actually types of the bosses. One thing. Second thing is this. that whenever we are in a state that we have certain subordinates, what we have to do, we have to develop empathy in ourselves, and we have to be sympathetic with our employer. What we do whenever we get a seat and whenever we are occupied with such station or with such status, what actually we do, we forget the rights and the fundamental needs of our employees. So it is wrong. We have to develop empathy for our employees and for subordinates. What does empathy mean? Empathy means that we have to put our feet in their, you know, in their shoes. What does it mean? It means that, your employee has certain capability. He has certain difficulties as you have in your life. What you have to do, you have to take care of those responsibilities. And third thing, which I feel during my professional career, is that what we do wrong in our, in our style of different bosses, we are actually expecting from our employees too much. We feel that our employees would do 100% right. So it is something which is wrong. There are certain mistakes. There would be certain, mental capabilities of our employees which are not sufficient to perform the duties. Even recently, I had a communication. I was hired for one day in interview panel. So they were actually telling me that they hired a paramedic and he's not performing very well. So they recruited me and they said that kindly interview this person and share your findings with us. So when I interviewed him, I came to know that he has hundred of familial issues. He has to take care of his kids and he has to perform his duty for the 12 hours. So it was very difficult for him to concentrate on the job. Whenever doctor said to him to bring these tablets, it was difficult for him to bring because he was already mentally occupied with a bit of restrictions. So his senior was not accepting those things. What we have to do, we have to accept the, shortcomings of our employees. We have to accept the, mistakes of our employees. So definitely it is going to help our employees. It is the one thing. Second thing is that we have to develop a culture. I would say that in every organization there is a culture which is actually which matters the most. We have to develop a culture which should actually facilitate our employees. Like for example, if I have my colleague and he is sitting with me, so definitely he should be in a helping hand with me. If I have certain problems, I should feel comfortable to share my problems with everyone. In most of the organization, but I feel that they don't have such culture of the, mental health or the mental well-being, because that is a lacking in that. If anyone is saying to me, I'm very depressed since last evening, so he would make a fun of that, right? He would stigmatize that. Oh, you are sad. Why? What happened? Why? Because we actually try to make fun of others, right? So it is wrong.
Right,
We have to
exactly.
correct the organizational culture. So that would actually support the mental well. If anyone is sharing anything with you, so if you feel like, for example, I had gone through so many of these suicidal, post-suicidal, interviews. So what I realized from all these suicidal notes, that these notes were shared, these thoughts were shared with their colleagues, with their close friends. What was mistake in that? That they were not able to handle with the suicidal ideation at that. They had not supported their colleagues. It is something very wrong, and it is the dilemma of organization that whenever, like for example, if you are my colleague, we are working in an office. If I feel that I have certain problems of my home, I would tell you, and you are going to make the fun of that. It is something wrong. What we have to do, we have to develop a culture where everyone can speak of his problems, right? So that will help. Another thing which I would say, that yes, we should arrange certain meetings which should be free of boundaries, and that actually should help the employees to express their feeling. What we say in every organization, I usually recommend to the bosses, what you should do, you should actually organize a meeting for only 20 minutes, for only 30 minutes. And what you have to do, you should listen all the problems of your subordinates. And believe me, it will help a lot to regain the enthusiasm, regain the energies of your employees. Like for example, what I do, I arrange a meeting every Wednesday with my employees, and what I do actually, I ask every employee, even starting from the class 4, heading towards grade 17, what I actually do talk to everyone. Okay, it is the 30 minutes. What we have to do, we have to share our problems.
This solution, I think this must be workable for everyone, and employees should also understand.
Yes,
Many of the employers have, created a culture of having a buddy where employees talk to a friend, say buddy, and
yes,
discuss their problems, and that buddy then go to the HR or wellness manager, and then discuss all those things. So this is also a very good
yes,
idea, or a way to sort out the problems and all. But thank you, Mr. Faz. You have it was really great and very insightful listening to you. You have elaborated all the concepts and all. So I'm sure this would be really helpful to all of us, and especially to HR and wellness leaders who will listen to this session later. So I'm moving to the next round, and this won't take much of your time. And you do not have to explain your answer. You just have to say yes, no, or can't say. Okay, these are straight drive questions.
okay,
So do not explain. Okay, this
okay.
is just to understand your view. Okay, so I'm
Mhm.
beginning the session. The majority of the organization doesn't care much about employee mental well-being. Yes or no?
Uh, yes,
Yes.
yes, most
And
of the
it's
organization.
it's okay to fire employees for their mental breakdown.
No, it is not okay. We have to work on it.
Mental well-being shouldn't be considered equally important as physical wellness while shaping wellness programs. Yes or no?
No, it should be considered. It is very important.
Right. There must be a safe door through which people at the workplace connect and seek advice or suggestions and to put their thoughts for their mental wellness.
Yes, there should be.
Right. Okay, my last question. Instead of providing
Yes,
health apps to people, conducting subject expert sessions would rather be more helpful. Yes or no?
yes, yes.
Right. Organization need people like you, Mr. Faz. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
this is the final round. This is rapid fire. You have to pick anyone. I'll give you two words or two terms you will hear, and you have to pick anyone that you feel correct or most appropriate. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Compassion or care,
Care,
productivity or presentism,
present,
empathy or sympathy,
sympathy.
health hero stories to be told or kept secret,
Sorry, I couldn't hear that.
health heroes stories should be kept secret or to be told,
To be told,
effective seasonal wellness programs or routine programs.
routine programs.
Okay. Okay. Now, this is the rapid fire last session. You have just say a word, whatever it comes to your mind after listening to these words. Okay.
Mhm.
First,
Okay.
support to mentally exhausted employees at work.
Agree.
Okay. Passive aggression.
Is damaging.
Right. You have spoke a lot about it. Human psychology.
Is unique in nature.
Right. Mental well-being.
Is essential for us.
Digital burnout.
Sorry.
Digital